Do you want to be able to play PSP games on your Android device? Then this is the video for you. I'm going to be showing you how to set up PPSSPP, the best PSP emulator you can use on Android. Let's jump right into this. So the first thing you want to do is take your Android device. In today's video, I'm using a Samsung Galaxy S9. We're going to be swiping up and we're going to be opening up the Play Store. Once the Play Store opens up, we're going to be searching first for PPSSPP. And once this opens up, we will have two emulators that we can choose from. One is the basic PPSSPP. The second is going to be the PPSSPP Gold. These are exactly the same. The only difference is the Gold version allows you to directly support the creators of this app. So if you would like to support them to create more updates in the future, the Gold version is what I'd recommend to get. And that's what I'm going to be installing in today's video. While we're on our App Store, we're also going to be coming back up to the search and we're going to be searching for ZArchiver. And this is an application I'd recommend having on your Android device regardless if you're going to be doing any emulation. It's a really nice tool and it allows you to extract and works as a file manager. We're going to be using this for games a little bit later. So you want to make sure that this is installed also. So I've just moved both these applications to my home screen here. The first thing we want to do is open up PPSSPP for the first time. We're going to be clicking here. And it's going to ask you choose where to keep your PSP data. Here you can choose to create or choose a folder, which will basically allow you to back up your data. So if you uninstall PPSSPP, you won't lose your files. Or if you skip for now, you will lose all your data if you uninstall the app. And here we're going to have to select the folder where you want to keep your PPSSPP data. So you can set this up to go on your SD card if you want. I'm going to be creating a new folder here. Select use this folder, click allow. And now this is going to be set up as our folder. We can click OK here on the top left. And now we have PPSSP set up. From this point, we're going to start talking about games. And now we're going to be jumping back over to ZArchiver for this. If this is your first time trying to open up ZArchiver, you have to click OK here and then allow permission for ZArchiver to access your files. You can choose to allow ZArchiver to send notifications. I'm just going to be allowing it here. Clicking OK. From this point, I'm going to be locating to where my games are. And here in this folder, I already have a couple of games available. Most of my games are in a .iso format, and that's exactly what we need for PPSSPP. However, one of my games here is in a .7-zip format. And to play it in PPSSPP, I will first need to extract the game, and that's where we're going to be using ZArchiver. Now, sadly, I cannot show you where to download games in today's video. You will need to source dump and download your own games, but otherwise you can follow this process exactly how I'm doing it. To extract a game that's in a .7-zip or a RAR format, we're going to be clicking it. We're then going to be clicking extract. We can choose a destination folder. I'm just going to be leaving it in this folder. Click on this arrow here in the bottom right, and then our game is going to extract. Now this can take a couple of seconds depending on the game you're extracting, so we're just going to have to let that go. And now my game is extracted. From this point, you don't necessarily need this .7-zip file anymore, so you can delete it if you want to. And now you can see I have all my games in a .iso format. From this point, we're going to be heading back over to PPSSPP. And now what we're going to be doing is selecting our game folder. We're going to make sure we're on the Games tab here on the top left. We're then going to be clicking the Browse button. And now we're going to have to locate to where your games are downloaded. So I have my games here. I'm going to be clicking use this folder. You might have to allow this pop-up then to allow PPSSPP to locate your games. Once we do this, we can see our games will automatically be added here, and it will automatically have thumbnail pictures here as well. From this point, you can click and load up any game that you want. However, I'm first going to be going over a couple of settings in PPSSPP that can make our games run a bit better. The first thing we're going to be doing is coming to the graphics tab here. We're going to be making sure that our render is set on Vulkan. This is what I would recommend. If you are having issues with your Android device, you can try OpenGL. This will depend a bit on the specs of your Android device that you're using. However, for me, Vulkan will work just fine. The rendering resolution here you can experiment with a bit. This is again going to depend on the specs of the Android device that you're using. Here I'm going to be setting it to 4x, which is 1080p. It's what I'm going to be testing out in today's video. However, if you are having any issues or slowdowns, this is the first thing I'd recommend turning down. Anti-aliasing I would recommend leaving off. However, you can set it to 2 or 4x. It can be quite heavy. I would click to allow automatic frame skipping. This can help with some slowdowns in some games, so just leave it on automatic. It's a good option to have. We're going to be scrolling down here a bit more, and we're going to be looking for texture upscaling. Here you can enable the GPU texture upscaler. You can set it to 2, 4, or MMPX. By default, it will be off. Here you can experiment a bit. I'm going to be leaving mine off. However, I would also recommend setting out some anisotropic filtering. I'm going to be setting mine to 16x. Again, this you can experiment with depending on the hardware that you have. Finally, at the bottom, you do have some overlay information to show the FPS and show the speed. I am going to be enabling the FPS counter here just so I can track how my games are running, but you can feel free to turn that on and off as you wish. These are most of the graphics settings I'd recommend taking a look at. From this point, we're going to be coming to controls on the top left. And by default, it is possible to set up on-screen touch controls with your PSP, which will be enabled here. You can feel free to turn this off if you are going to be connecting a controller, which I'm going to be showing in a couple minutes. But if you would like to edit the touch layout controls, we can click this here, and here we can come in and move around our touchscreen options. So by default, they're all clustered in the bottom left, bottom right, in the middle, and here you can see our on-screen layout. You have the option to move around by enabling move here on the left, And here we can move our buttons around to wherever we want. You can resize these buttons if you want as well. You can even set up a snap option where they will snap to a specific grid. So here you can experiment with. I do like the default cluster here. It kind of feels the most natural, especially if you're using a tablet, you don't want the buttons stretched out too much. However, here you can feel free to experiment as you want. The default is a good starting point, and you can always come in here and check it out after. There is one other thing here you might want to take a look at, which is the button opacity. By default, it is set to 65%, and this will determine how visible your buttons will be or how much overlay they will show on top of your games. So if you'd like your buttons to be more visible, you can turn this up, or if you'd like your buttons to be less visible, you can feel free to turn this down. Again, 65 is a good starting point, but it's just something to keep in mind. You can experiment with this. We're going to be coming back to controls. We're going to be scrolling all the way up to the top. And we're going to be clicking on controller mapping here. Now here there might be some default mapping already set up. Here's what we can do is go through and map each one of these buttons. One little tip here is we can click show a PSP so you can visualize how it will be. What we can do is click on any button we would want, for example the X button. I'm going to be clicking the A button on my controller and it will map to that. Here we go through one by one and map each of the buttons to make sure they're set up. I now have all my buttons mapped. I can click back. And now from this point, since we've mapped our controller, it will now actually work to control our emulator. So I can click the B button to go back. And here I can use it to select and go through and select each one of my games. You can see now as I select a game with my controller, we will actually get a full background visual, which is really nice. So we can select which game we want to play. From this point, I'm going to be loading up Tekken as an example. Finally clicking the A button on our controller and our Android device is going to open up. I'm going to be moving this over here a little bit, clicking the A button. And now we're going to see that my emulator is going to run. Now on the top left, we can see I'm currently getting 60 FPS, even with all the settings that I had set up earlier. Now one thing to keep in mind with this is I am currently also recording on my tablet. So my performance is going to take a hit by the fact that I am recording. If we do tap on screen, we can also see our on-screen controls. However, since I am using a controller, they will fade into the background as you do not interact with anything. If you would like to open up the on-screen menu, we can tap on screen. We can see these three lines here, and here we can see some on-screen options. Here we can create save states here on the left. We have all of our options here on the right. I'm going to be going back to the menu, and just like that, we've set up our PSP. Underneath system, there are a couple of other things I'd recommend taking a look at. First is the screen rotation. By default, it will be set and locked to landscape. If you would like to set it to portrait, landscape reversed, or even set it to auto, so when you rotate your screen, it will move, you can feel free to check that here. But I like the default option, so I'm not going to be changing anything else there. The rest of these options are good to take a look at, but I'm not going to be going through each in today's video, but they can help with a couple of things. And I just wanted to point out the memory stick folder or the memory stick location. If you do want to update or back up any data, depending on what we set up in the beginning, here we can see it's locating to the folder that I pointed to earlier, but you can feel free to come in here and adjust it at any time, or just remember where this is if you would like to make a backup. Anyway guys, it's as easy as that to set up and play PSP games on your Android device in 2026. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like. Subscribe if you're new, check out the other videos on the channel. Until next time guys, as always, keep it saucy. Peace.